Tell me about how a mediumship is so helpful with people who have lost a loved one.
Many times when people have lost a loved one, they have terrible memories of those last days with their loved one. And when that loved one comes in from spirit and says, I no longer have the pain of the heart attack, the person that's still living on earth receives a healing. Their grief is lifted. Or sometimes, unfortunately, there are arguments that go on between people that never get resolved. And when a husband is able to come through from the world of spirit and tell his wife that he's sorry for the way that he behaved, well, what does that do for her? That's healing. It would probably take 4 hours to talk about all the ways that healing takes place. Many people also feel that once they learn that life is continuous, they know that there will come a time when they pass to spirit, they'll be with their loved ones again. And you could tell people that, but we each have to experience that for ourselves. Before I realized it was a medium, I didn't even believe in an afterlife. I had to experience it. You could have had me read, hundreds of books, and people could have told me what to think, but I had to experience it for myself. And so I think that people who have readings, and it might not happen in the first reading. This is a process. If you want to find out if there's an afterlife through getting readings, you have to say, okay, I'm going to hang in there for a while, and I'm going to have as many readings as I need before I get that very special reading that changes my life. And if you're able to have the patience to do that, and you have that very special reading, there's a healing that takes place that lifts your grief.
Do you believe that the grieving process is a necessary process, shouldn't be rushed, all that sort of thing? Or do you think that it's a suffering process that we should get through as quickly as possible?
A lot of people come to me and they're extremely upset that they have their family, their brother and everybody they ever knew telling them how to grieve. For some people it takes 3 months, for some people it takes 3 years. People are told that after 1 year you should be over your grief. Some people are just beginning to even feel their grief in 1 year. So I hope I'm not stepping on the toes of any psychologists or therapists that have a system, but in my experience as a psychic medium, there is no timetable for grief. It's a very individual matter. And each person needs to go through it in their own way and in their own time. And some of them will have readings and some of them will not.
And now that you've said that, do you also believe, though, that that mediumship can help heal one's grief maybe a little faster?
I've had many clients tell me that they sought many kinds of professional help for grief, and it was very helpful for them. But when they had a reading, their grief lifted very quickly.